Hello everyone, welcome back to Madcap Toys. My name's Daren, Kathy is over there.
Hi guys.
And we're going to talk to you about what we've had go on right now, as in selling on the main eBay toy store for Madcap Toys. Kathy will one of these times get a chance to talk about what's going on eBay with Madcap Toys Plus. Yeah, but she is very busy with her insurance this time of year. They've got like 6 more weeks of really being hectic right now.
Maybe about 4 more weeks and I'll be back.
Okay. All right, 4 weeks. All right, well, we've also got a lot of things going on. I've been down to visit my mom and my stepfather, and he's doing a little bit better. For those of you that know and have been keeping him in your prayers, he's still weak. So if you can, be sure to keep him in your thoughts and prayers about that. We're going to just say, get well done, stay strong, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks. We've also got a lot of things that are going on with eBay and Mercari at the main site and store. I'm going to read off a few of the items first off that sold on Mercari the last little bit. So if you can, stay patient with me because this may take a few minutes. We've had a lot of things just happen that seems to just have thrown our system out of whack. I have gone down quite a bit. I'm just going to give you those numbers. I'll do that here in a minute. But we've had quite a few things sell off, and so we're doing really good in sales. We've had I'm going to say a stop gap, as it was, with the every 15 days in sales or 12 days like we was doing it. Everything I said about that, we talked to you about it for almost 2 months or months and a half, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and there's a new pattern developing on eBay. So I don't know really what's going on there, guys, but I'm going to make you aware of as I can. But I want to first off say, off of Mercari, I sold a Maxwell cassette tape. I sold it for $3, and everything I'm telling you is not including the shipping costs. So this is what we sold the item for. So if you want to get good deals on low priced items but higher quality items, be sure to check us out on eBay, Mercari, and if you want the best price, it's all based on the fees we have to pay. District at Madcap Markets is the best place to get items from us because we don't have to pay but 5% fees there to the site. So be sure to check us out because you'll get the better deals there. But also, Mercari does give better deals than a little bit of our eBay stores because, again, it's all based on the fees, etc., and so forth. But we also sold a 1980s Hasbro G.I. Joe Cobra vehicle part. We sold that for $5.95. We sold a Captain Marvel Hero Squad action figure, 2.5 inches tall as it was. We sold him for $2.25. We sold a 1926 silver Mercury dime in very good condition for $5.50. Then we sold a really nice action figure, Star Wars: A New Hope, Biggs Dark Lighter action figure. He's mint and boxed. We sold him for $17. We sold a 9-piece plastic Army Men, metal jets, helicopters, etc., Lot A as we called it, for $4.25. He got 9 items in that. We sold a 1902 silver barber dime for $5, and that graded, we put at a grade of call. And guys, if an item is showing the product, a coin, especially some of these guys, please keep in mind, if it's not a very high grade, I'm not going to go dig the thing out, find it, and send you a better picture of it, because our pictures are by and large overall very, very nice, very good. Most of the time you can see everything that you can see, and us just tweaking with it a little bit, it's not going to do anything really to make it any better. And I'm not going to go chase out a very small graded coin, like I said, at call for a low price. It's just basic silver melt price value. But then we sold a 1916S silver Mercury dime. We call it AVC for average circulated. For you that have never bought off of us before, listen to us. We sold that for $6. And we finally sold, as of the last sale that we got last night, we sold a 2019 DC Annual Red Hood Outlaw #3 Revealed, as it was, comic. And that sold for $5, guys. So we've had in the last little bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items that have gone out here over the last, well, we was gone over the weekend, so that's the last 2 days. But we also had items that's gone out that we did not tell you about. So overall, I'm going to say the trend on Mercari right now for us is going very well, and I'm thankful for that. Moving on to eBay, we've had some really odd things happen, and I want to tell you guys about this because we've noticed a trend. I don't usually do it, but the user's name is JODY6785, and we blocked this individual from purchasing from us again on eBay. The item that we've shipped them that they purchased was shipped out in an envelope. They've complained about, and it's been sort of a nasty complaint. I've got a letter that long over and over. They've complained about an item taking 7 days and still not there, and that the tracking is not updated. Well, you and I that sell on eBay repetitively understand that eBay always doesn't follow that tracking of envelopes till it gets to the house sometimes. Then it seems to get scanned, then all the information gets there. Well, what we did to avoid problems, hopefully, is we took and we gave a full refund on this item, plus they will probably get the coin because we've had this happen in the past. But we are going to stop using, period, eBay envelopes on some items.
eBay standard
shipping,
standard
yeah.
envelope.
Yes.
Here's the deal. The thing is before Daren had looked into it, I looked into it after the fact, after he refunded
Yeah,
it.
now what she's telling you guys here, that she's leaving this out, after I've dealt with this guy and said, here, I'll just give your money back, go back. He's got a history pattern. That's why I'm warning you. Jody6785, I'm warning you, and I'm going to start doing this. He's got a repeat pattern of doing this kind of thing. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say, is that he has I looked into it after the fact, and he has a repeat pattern of putting in negatives, neutrals, and not even awaiting. When he chooses the eBay standard envelope as the option, he gave somebody a negative just because it took 11 days to get through the USPS Postal Service because of the eBay standard envelope. So there was a pattern with him. So after the fact, even though Daren had already did the refund, I said he has a pattern of doing this consistently and only with coins. Silver coins.
Yeah, so I smell a rat. eBay, if you watch this video, which I know you do at different times, you might want to check him out because there seems to be a pattern of scamism going on here, right? So if you want to keep your site up, honest and fair, that's fine. But, if eBay is going to make us wait 30 days for a refund, I think that buyers ought to have to wait at least 15 days to get a product before they can start griping, complaining that they haven't got a product, because we are in the holiday season that even though most people aren't talking about it, things seem a little bit different this year. I think we buyers need a little bit of grace to where we have time for the product to get there and we don't have to put up with this nonsensical bantering that goes back and forth. And it's like, look, dude, I can't help it if the post office isn't doing their job till the item gets to you. And we've had that multiple times. Or frankly, he or she doesn't need to be on eBay buying and then choosing that if they don't get the tracking like they want it. Maybe they ought to pay for the higher shipping costs to get it tracked from beginning to end. And I'll be honest with you, even if you get it at a different one, it's not going to do any better, because if the post office doesn't do their job, we've had stuff shipped out in Ground Advantage, etc., that's not tracked hardly at all. So, you take it for what it's worth. Sellers can only do what they are. And, he just started going on about how everybody's trying to rip him off and all that. Nobody's trying to rip people off. If you look at my feedback, you're going to see that we try to get everybody's stuff out the next day. Sometimes depends on holidays, depends on if they're shut down like today. We may not get it out because of them being closed down, but that's not most of the time on us. Now, it has happened if there's a sickness, a death, etc., and so forth, or something's happened that you've got to go deal with something that was unforeseen, maybe you will have a delay. But that is 1 out of 100 times, if that many, frankly.
What I suggest for folks that are still going to continue doing eBay US standard envelope, check and see if there is an issue, if it hasn't been scanned, and also to talk about it's not an actual person that does the scanning with those envelopes. It's actually, it goes to a major hub such as Indianapolis or Louisville, Kentucky, et cetera, that it goes through a machine. Yeah. If it hasn't been scanned or what have you, that's the hub. It's not your local person that's standing behind the counter. Also, too, if a customer reaches out, most of them are really nice. Maybe they're just saying, heads up, I noticed there wasn't a tracking going on. Did you ship it, etc. Be very nice and professional and let them know. But I will tell you this: if this person starts to, as they did with Daren, start threatening, saying
badgering,
names, they have a pattern. And for this particular individual, it found out he has a pattern.
Now I'm going to tell you something again. The name is Jody6785. If you are a fellow seller that sells coins, primarily silver, gold, etc., I would say beware of this guy. Of course, he's got 100% feedback, but he does sell, so eventually he'll run into somebody like himself if this is done for a reason. But here's the seller's negatives that he has left for others. Yeah. No, I'm not calling it. But just this last week, he's left a neutral, for instance. Waited a week for the coin and it was refunded. No explanation, not upset, but would like to know why. Well, I'll tell you why. We can't help what happens with the USPS, okay? You're paying for the lowest grade service and expect top tier shipping. Your sellers are 99.9999% going to be honest. But you have to be really understanding, especially from October 31st all the way to January, I'm going to say 5th. I could be off on that even. But shipping can take a little bit. It can be a bear sometimes. And the next feedback, paid for a coin, waited a week. This is negative. No tracking. Only after I contacted the seller does he tell me he already sold the coin. I did not receive a refund, only I asked. First off, I don't believe that, because if you bought the coin, that seller has to sell the coin to you. Right. If the seller has that coin sold to you, he has to provide tracking, or you are due a refund. Right. So that doesn't even make sense if you want to be honest. And that's just two of the most recent. But anyway, be careful, guys. Cover yourself. Make sure your tracking is up. If you can, keep it up to date. Try to be a little proactive if you can. We had a little bit of an issue this weekend because we had to deal with some things with the family, and we've got a couple of our members that are not doing quite so well. So that's been a little bit of what's been going on with us as of late. But I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I've got that's gone out the last little bit. We've sold a Last of Summer's Wine 1998 2-set DVD set for $22.75. We sold a beauty makeup pack for Halloween powder, $14.67. We sold a Care Bear brand new mint box interactive rainbow set, pink bear rainbow, however they say that, $32.78. We've sold another Queens of the Mystery series, season 1, 2019 for $12.94. Keep in mind this is the last couple of days. We've sold a Room Essential black wood grain 5x7 beveled wedge picture frame for $36.12. DC Multiverse Arkham Asylum City Batman vs. Clayface figure. They're both 7 inches with a gel play set for $64.81. Brand new mint box. G.I. Joe Viper Trooper from 1980-ish to today. So that means to me, just looking at it, he's probably in the 90s, early 2000s. $25.95. 2000 CD MCA Records by Guy 3. We sold that for $7.90. A Children's Scholastic Level 1 and 2, Level 1 2-book series set. What a sight I saw. And last night, I Am Bigger for $10.09. I've still got one of those left. That was a multi-quantity. I sold a 1962 Silver Ben Franklin $half gem proof for $44.03. We've got one of those left. We sold a 2004 DVD, As Young as You Feel, from the 20th Century Fox, starring Marilyn Monroe, I guess. It's a redone one for $10.23. We sold The Secret Life of Pets Max plush stuffed animal, 12-inch animal, dog, by Universal Studios for $18.06. Again, I sold the 1963 Ben that we gave a refund on. It cost me $15.58. He got a 20% discount on it as well. We also sold a 2008 CD, The Best Smooth R&B by EMI Records, for $7.30. A 2003 CD, Zwanny, Martha's Music, Mary Star of the Sea, $10.47. So as you can see, I've got a few more I'm going to give you. It's been pretty good. We sold a cool Woo Fan 48 inches Christmas tree skirt with 3D snowflakes, I guess, embellished on it for the Christmas tree holiday set. We sold it for $34.49. A remote control boat by Pavatar, RC weight boat 1.64 scale. We sold that for $24.16. And we sold a Seether Disclaimer 2 with bonus DVD, whatever that means, for $11.62. And then we sold a 1976S Silver Bicentennial. Now I remember this coin. Washington Memorial Quarter Cameo Gem Proof. This is a beautiful coin. And we sold that for $18.54. And out of all these sales, many of these people were saving 20% because our coupon for Madcap Toys eBay store is 20%. Macari has their own thing going on that we do, and then District has a discount of 20% that I believe it's 20%, maybe 15%. One or the other coupon going on Madcap Market, so be sure to check that store out as well. Going on from that, I'm going to tell you that currently silver price for you silver sellers is running around $50.99. So keep an eye on your coins. If you can, keep them up. I set my coin prices at whatever silver was when I purchased the coin or bar or whatever. So be sure to check those out. If you're one of those that's just doing it as a hobby or whatever, you might want to check your silver price because it is moved, and it's moved quite a bit. It's moved in the last, I think, 3 days. Be about $2. Last time I checked it, and this is sometime last week, it had gone down to around not quite $48 and change, but it's bounced back up. So keep an eye because it usually gets really hot up till about February, maybe March on average. And then somewhere heading towards May, it seems like the price of silver and gold on average tank. Now, with what's going on with the economy and all, I don't know what it's going to do. So just keep that in mind. Things may be a little bit different this year. But that's what's going on with that. My numbers, since the last time I told you, I'm going to go off of the, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to start since October 27th. I'm hoping I didn't leave a few days out. But the trend line that we had been talking to you about, the 15-day thing, has just sort of been undone for a few minutes. Because right now I'm at, starting October 27th, I made $61 and change. Then on the 28th, we dropped to $17.99. The 29th, I had nothing. No sales all day. 30th, I made $44. 31st, $35.96. The first, we was at 43. Come on, give me whatever that is. Second was roughly $21. Then I had another day. We had, within a period of 5-6 days, another nothing, which never happens. Then on the 4th, we went to $17, almost 18. The 5th, we did almost 59. The 6th, again, we had a dip of $11, almost 12. And we had nothing on, what was that? 6th, the 7th, the 8th. On the 9th, we had 2 days back to back with nothing on the main store. So I knew they was working on the site and doing something, or they shut us off for some reason. We was at $46, and then we had on the 10th, $1,105.77. Another one of those days, and then today so far we've had what day is this? We've had 0 yet, but I've got hopes for this evening. But it went from our last big day. I'm going to count that on the 17th. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then 24 days. Right at almost, a month. 6 days from a month, 7 days to the end of the month before we had our next big day. Now, okay, that tells me something is still going on with the site, because if we're having these great days, why can't I always have these great days? Well, you and I that are sellers on here and been here for a while know that when you have breaks like this is not normal. When you're having days that are way up here and then you have days that are right here or nothing, there's something wrong. I had 2 days of nothing. I've not had 2 days of nothing since way back in the beginning of time. We're talking 25 years ago. And we're almost ready for 26 years on eBay come December. So, we're seeing patterns that just don't make sense. And for you guys that are ready to run your mouth and say, well, it's maybe your items. Well, okay, how come am I having these little days and then I'm having these big days? And yet I was up 265%. Currently, I'm up 51.2%. And that's with these trends of even 2 days as of late with nothing. So it's not my products. It's no one's products most of the time. Very rarely, guys, if you're a seller having a hard time, is it your products. Yes, you may need to tweak a few things. Maybe your price is off here or there, but usually it's as of late because of eBay. In my book, it's been that way for 3.5, maybe 4 years. We started seeing a pattern back then. It wasn't quite so obvious, but when I have these low troughs and then I got these mountain pikes going on, don't get me wrong, I like making those big sales, but there's something just not quite right. I currently have, like I said, 6 items that are supposed to be found as of after I get off here and due to go out. Again, my sales for the last 31 days is up 51.2%, but we, even with that, are not setting records at this point. We used to do in a month what we did at this point in a quarter. I'm still top rated. My clicks are down 60%. My ad sales are down 100%. My return on ad spent's down 100%. Here's the deal with what's going on. Many of you guys know, also speaking on a topic that's been going through the web and the net over and over again on YouTube, we went through and shut down every promoted listing on our site. And I've restarted everything as of what I'm putting on from that day forward, last week sometime before we went all down to Mom's to deal with some issues there. I shut everything off. All the promoted was out. Now when I list daily, I list promoted no more than 5, because if my promoted's not going to mean a whole lot to eBay unless I advertise off-site, which they wanted us to do, which I think is fallen by the wayside. And now everybody that clicks something and somebody comes through that's had nothing to do with that and they're going to charge me promoted listing, it just is not worth it. When you're getting up to 20 or 25%, depends on where you're putting your promoted listings at. Some people say 2% or 3%. That's good, guys, but I have done studies on that, and it's not written in stone. It's not, a commandment as it was. But here's the deal. You're just going to get charged an extra 2 or 3% because most people do not get to see those. If somebody's putting up their 10, 12 And I have seen eBay recommend 25% promoted listing ad fees. That's retarded. That's ridiculous. I mean, so, just do the math. You do what you want. You do what works for you. Promotions may work, and that's great, and I hope it does, because I'm still doing 5 items, but we are changing the numbers around here and there, because I'll be honest, I'm not going to supplement eBay so the man up top can get a golden parachute, and then we're suffering to have, my God, 20 days, 24 days before I get my next big bubble. No, it's not worth it. That promoted apparently didn't do me much of good if I had to do that to wait 24 days to see a spike in the sales, right? But you do what works for you. Be happy, go on. And for you guys that say, hey, you're ignorant, you don't know nothing, you're stupid, you guys that are saying all this, hey, look here, bud. You know it all. You do it, okay? If it's working for you, you do it. Why would you encourage your competition online to do something that's the key to the golden goose, man? If it's working for you, you just go ahead and do it. If you're an eBay shill, hey, just keep talking. Nobody cares, because we've already discussed with you how we feel. Sooner or later, eBay, you cannot bleach us dry here. Put our bones out in the sun to just go bleached. It's got to end sooner or later. Fair is fair, and quite frankly, your site's overpriced. I hate to say it, it's overpriced. My opinion is that there's a fair place that you can go on pricing, and it's doing things right. I understand wanting to show good, but sometimes the site needs more work, and some of that work maybe you need to stop messing with it and screwing around with it and let us make sales. If you would think about this eBay rep or reps that may see this video, if you get off the site and let the seller sell, you would make more money without having to increase anybody's fees. Anybody's fees. And I'm going to tell you something I've not said. I think it's wrong to charge us a fee on tax. I think it's wrong to charge us a fee on shipping. I think it's wrong to charge us a promoted listing fee if the item wasn't truly promoted. Now, you know whether it is or not. I believe it because you have the internals to see it. But if it's not truly sold via promotion, that's just a money grab, and that's thievery. And that doesn't help your reputation. I'm not saying all this to attack you, but I am attacking you because some things are wrong. And it's just wrong to try to bleed your sellers dry. We are your partners in a lot of ways. We buy store subscriptions. We sit there and we give refunds even when it's not called for. We go out of our way. A lot of us leave feedback without ever getting it until you gave auto feedback. Question, if you're so worried about changing rules all the time, why don't you change some of the rules called giving feedback back so that us sellers that get screwed over like I was today, and this is just one of many times, can leave a neutral or a negative and say, hey guys, this is it. Now look, I'll be honest, the tracking doesn't show, but you know what? I've had that go for a week and almost a week and a half, 10 days, and then it shows up, there's the tracking. Sellers can't help that. But it is nice not to be extorted every 5 seconds, and this guy's got a pattern. Maybe you want to check him out a little bit. And that's fine. Done it. It's done out of my hair. I'm done talking about it. But you need to do something to give sellers a fair shake. You always want to change things, but you never change anything for your partners that are paying you the fees. It's not the sellers paying the fees. It's the buyers paying the fees. It's the sellers paying the fees at the end of the day. And you know what? It's just not fair. This site needs to get a little bit more even-handed. You're changing everything, screwing everything all the time. Get off the site, get out of the way, let us make sales, and give us a fair and balanced feedback. Most sellers are honest and fair. Most of us sellers leave feedback before we get feedback or after the item is purchased. So maybe you ought to consider that about this feedback thing, because there are a few people out there that are buyers that are mucking up the whole system. My listing impressions is down by 31.3% over the last 24, 28 days, whatever it is. My click-through rate is up 0.1%. I'm at a 0.3% click-through. My page views is up 5.4%. Now you listen to this. Impressions is down, page views is up. Sales conversion rate as of yesterday was 1.4%. It was up 0.4%. Now it's down to 1.3%, but I'm still up 0.1%. Sorry, the heater is blowing, so I get dry throat. I've had, in just this last month, 83 positives, no neutrals, no negatives. Thank the Lord for that. My current rating is 99.6%, guys. But guys, please let me know. Do you think I'm off base? Do you think I'm somewhat playing fair? I mean, I personally believe things need to get where we have a fair shake. And that goes on fees, that goes on feedback, that goes on pretty much everything currently with eBay. Most of our seller talks are about eBay. We will talk about District a little bit at Madcap Markets. We will talk once in a while about Macari as we do about what's sold, etc. But if you notice most of the videos, if we have what I call a gripe session video, it's because it's an eBay issue. Not usually a Macari issue. Not usually a District issue. We've had no negatives with District as of now. But, you know, that's life happens, right? And I expect things to once in a while go off a little bit here to the side, one way or the other. But, you know, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, even on eBay, we don't have a lot of issues at all. But when you do have a scammer issue, it seems like it is on eBay for us sellers. But guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Have you seen any of this? Have you had that? Are you already having the nagging effect start where people are saying, hey, it's not here, but they don't take into account that, hey, October 31st, we're now in November, we got December, and we got the first half, I'm going to say, of January, at least a week. So let me know how things are going for you. I appreciate you spending time with me, listening to what's sold with us on eBay and Macari, about the issue and the warning about that seller, and other items and things that we are seeing and dealing with. We want to thank you again for watching and spending time with us. If you can, share this video with your group. Don't forget to like the video if you can, if you got something out of it and it helped you or filled your day while you was working. Comment if you can. And guys, we just thank you for being you and for spending time. You have a wonderful day. We will see you again later. Bye-bye.